What's up, guys? It's Thor Diecast. Welcome back to another edition of This Week on Blu-ray and DVD. We've got a slew of new titles to tell you about. Leading the way, Keanu Reeves in a brand new action thriller. And you know what? This is a return to form for Keanu. He stars in John Wick. And this is the story of an ex-assassin who gets basically attacked by some senseless thugs. And he goes on a merciless rampage in New York City. Take a look.
I lost everything. That dog was a final gift from my dying wife.
Jonathan, you got out once. You dip so much as a pinky back into this pond, you may find something reaching out to pull you back in.
It's personal.
Yeah, baby, Keanu's back and he's kicking butt. Tons of great action in this film, and he really brings a lot of credibility to it. Some kind of cheesy one-liners, but it's all done a bit tongue-in-cheek, a little satirical, if you will. Willem Dafoe, Adrian Palicki, Michael Nyquist, Alfie Allen, Lance Reddick, Dean Winters, a lot of great cast in this one. And these guys have no idea what kind of boogeyman they have awoken when they attack him. So he goes on this rampage, hunting down his adversaries with his skill and ruthlessness that made him an underworld legend. John Wick came out of nowhere and just brought Keanu right back into the forefront of action. So this is a crowd pleaser for sure. If you like Reeves and the action genre, don't miss it. Okay, on the complete flip side of that, we're talking about the latest Nicholas Sparks adaptation. This is The Best of Me, starring Michelle Monaghan and James Marsden. And break out the Kleenex box, because this is the story of two high school sweethearts, Dawson and Amanda. They meet at a loved one's funeral 20 years after tragedy separated them. Their love is reignited, and they recall and relive their past. They basically come to a deeper understanding about the choices they've made. This is your typical Nicholas Sparks fare. I think I'll take Safe Haven any day, but this one doesn't quite live up to the stronger titles in the Nicholas Sparks canon. But it might be a good tearjerker for that rainy Sunday where you're looking for a nice little romantic drama. And James Marsden and Michelle Monaghan have a decent amount of chemistry. They do carry it, and it does those kind of flashbacks to tell the story of their love and the tragedy that happened. There goes some shirtless men too for the ladies. You can enjoy that. Okay, next, Simon Pegg is back in Hector and the Search for Happiness, and he plays a psychiatrist who's kind of down on his luck. He's upset about his life, where he's going. He's increasingly tired of his humdrum life. He tells his girlfriend, played by Rosamund Pike, he feels like a fraud, kind of wasting his life. So he decides to break out of his diluted routine and takes a bucket load of courage and his childlike curiosity. Armed with those things, he embarks on a global quest in hopes of uncovering the elusive secret for true happiness. The film doesn't always work. It's a very sanitized look at what it's like to travel the globe. It's got a lot of cheesy humor, and some of the stereotypes were a bit broad, but thankfully Simon Pegg, he's a very charming man. It's a nice feel-good story. It's got some beautiful cinematography because they did a lot of location shooting. So it's a lovable film with a good cast, including Rosamund Pike, as I say, Stellan Skarsgård, Toni Collette, and Christopher Plummer. So it's got some decent performances, very lighthearted fare, but again, it does have sort of a broad brush look at what it's like to travel in different cultures. If you can ignore that stuff, you might enjoy Hector and the Search for Happiness. All right, next we're talking an interesting film here, The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, and two phenomenal actors in this one, James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain. This is a very interesting film about two people that were once happily married, and they suddenly find themselves as strangers longing to understand each other in the wake of a tragedy.
Would you mind passing this to the girl with the red hair?
Hey, Rigby?
There's only one heart in this body. Have mercy on me.
Everyone starts out thinking this is forever. But then things get hard.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this film, without giving too much away, is they attempt to tell the story from two different perspectives. So the male and the female, with Chastain and McAvoy's character. Wonderful performances in this one, great ensemble cast, beautiful screenplay, and a very touching, tender look at relationships and modern drama. And I love the two together. They had such great chemistry, and they just carried the film. So it explores the couple as they try to reclaim the life and love that they once knew, as they kind of pick up the pieces of the past, again, facing tragedy. Seems to be a little bit of a theme going here with these romantic dramas this week, but don't miss The Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby, a very nice little film with some decent performances as well. Okay, one that's not so great, but I will watch him in anything. Luke Evans is back in Dracula Untold. And how many times have we rehashed the Dracula genre? Well, we're doing it again, and it's the classic tale of a man dealing with supernatural powers trying to save his family and country at the cost of his soul. Take a look.
You will have the strength of 100 men and dominion over the night and all its creatures. At what price? You have no idea. But I'm going to show you. Drink.
Yeah, there's the great Charles Dance, who you may recognize from Game of Thrones. Also Canadian Sarah Gadon there. It's the epic tale of heroism, sacrifice, and savagery. You got a lot of cool extras on the DVD and the Blu-ray. Oh yeah, Dominic Cooper, he's great in it as well. Good cast. They took it a little bit too seriously because I think there should still be some room for some fun in Dracula. Loaded with CGI, so it's got a lot of the battles. It's a bit somber for me, and it didn't really add too much to the genre. That being said, though, it's got some interesting characters and acting, and you know, some good action, but the overall picture quality as well is very dark, so I found a lot of it hard to follow. And the CG, a little bit shoddy in parts, so I would give Dracula Untold a pass, although Dominic Cooper and Luke Evans, very convincing in their roles, but it is all a bit cheesy. And finally, guys, I love when Disney does this. They're rolling out the Ghiblis on Blu-ray and DVD once again. We've got 3 new Ghibli titles to tell you about, and here we go. We'll just get through them right now. Poko, Porco, Rosso, and Tales from Earthsea. We begin with Poko. This is the story of the raccoons of Tama Hills. They are forced from their homes by rapid development of a mall and houses, so it's hard for them to find food and shelter. They band together to fight back, and they practice the ancient art of transformation. So they basically try and trick all the humans into appearing as humans to try and sort of mess with them a little bit. Porco Rosso is about a World War I flying ace who's been transformed into a pig. He infuriates a band of sky pirates with his heroics, and they hire a rival to get rid of him. And finally, Tales from Earthsea, based on the classic Earthsea fantasy book series. Crops are dwindling, dragons have reappeared, giving way to chaos and humanity. So a group of people have to sort of embark on a journey to restore the balance that threatens to destroy the world. Beautiful, magnificent hand-drawn animation, a timeless story. There you go, 3 brand new Ghibli titles courtesy of Disney. They're loaded with bonus features. You can get the Americanized version, if you will, with the great celebrity voices. By the way, Michael Keaton does the voice of Porco Rosso. Or you can go for the original Japanese audio track, which I always love. There you go, 3 up, 3 down when it comes to Ghibli. That concludes this week on Blu-ray and DVD. A lot of stuff to choose from this week, and you can find me on Twitter. Don't forget, @ThorDieCow, and we'll see you next week on BreakfastTelevision.ca.